All right, let's talk insulation. So that's kind of our next step. We're gonna be doing the ceiling first, but we ordered all of our insulation, and there's several different ways to kind of go about insulation. Originally, we were just gonna do the pink foam board, but I wasn't really looking forward to scoring it to fit the curvature of the ceiling. But that was kind of looking like our only option because we talked about spray foam insulation, and it has to be warm outside in order to do that. So we would have to wait till summer because it's pretty cold here, and we didn't want to wait till summer. So we were going over some other options, and it was looking like the pink foam board was going to be it. But on further research, we found out that wool would be a good option. Wool has like way more benefits than any other thing that we were looking at, and it was going to be like the easiest install, which I was all for the easy install. So we ordered some wool from a company called Havelock Wool. It'll be here Friday. So before we do that, the video that I watched with the install, they installed Kilmat. It's like a soundproof rubber used for vehicles. They installed that on the ceiling before they installed the wool, so we ordered some of that. We didn't order the Kilmat brand specifically. We went with this off-brand. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, but what this is on one side, it is kind of like a butyl tape. It's adhesive, and so it'll stick directly to the ceiling, and the other side is like a foil. So this will provide kind of a vapor barrier and soundproofing, because buses can be very loud, and so this will hopefully help us with some soundproofing. I have to install this without a heater because when the heater is on, it makes the ceiling sweat, so it's gonna be cold. Hopefully this isn't too big of a hassle, but we'll get started. Our project manager has arrived. She says get to work. Hey, baby. She says it's time for lunch. Alright, I think there's a good stopping point for today. I'll show you everything we did. So far, this stuff is like super easy to work with. I think we're gonna plan on using more of it than what we actually bought and do some of the walls of the bus and maybe the stairs. But here's what we did today. I figured I'd start with whole pieces and then we will eventually work our way to pieces that we're gonna cut. All the Kilmat is finally up, which means we can start insulating the ceiling. the wool got delivered on Friday, so we're gonna get started on it today. If you're looking to use Kilmat and insulate with wool, I recommend putting the Kilmat down before putting up the framing for the ceiling. To get the wool to stick to the ceiling, we're using 3M super adhesive spray we just got on Amazon. You're gonna need a good pair of scissors to cut the wool. A box cutter just tears the wool and makes a mess. There's a ton of benefits to using wool. I'll insert a photo of the list of benefits from Havelock's website where we ordered the wool from. Enjoy the rest of the video. So far, this stuff is really nice. They say you don't need any protective equipment because, I mean, it's natural, just wool. But I can definitely tell it's in my throat and in my eyes. So if you're hypersensitive to wool, definitely protective equipment. Peace. Going with gloves this time. Ceiling's done. All right, we finished the ceiling insulation. The next steps will be to put our ceiling panels up. Before that, our next video is going to be starting part of the electrical. I want to bring in all the electrical stuff and map it out under the bench. Before we can insulate the walls, we have to drill through the wall for our shoreline and our gravity water fill. So we're gonna bring in the electrical, kind of map that out where we want the shore power. We'll do the gravity fill in a little bit later, but after that, we got a guy coming over to help us with the wiring for the switchboard. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, the next time we'll be insulating, we'll be doing the walls. So slowly chipping away.